Hi, welcome to our video presentation about the muscles involved in exercises and its classification of muscles. Our group members consist of Nuri Shakira binti Muhammad Zabli, Nur Metric 2023114233, Nur Hazimah Alfia binti Hisam 20233679445, Nurul Husna binti Muhammad Nasir 2023135739, Ainul Hafizah binti Azhar 2023365405, Muhammad Dani Kushari bin Hakimi 2023131521. The contents of this video divided into introduction, contents and reference. Here now is the first member to present.
Hi, my name is Nuri Shakira binti Muhammad Zabli. I will explain to you guys about the introduction of this assignment. Different muscles from all across the body are used during exercises to carry out certain motions and produce force. Individuals can focus on particular area for strength training, muscle development, or overall fitness by understanding the muscles involved in activities. Depending on the precise exercise variant, the tools utilized and the biomechanics of the individual's different muscle may be involved. Compound exercise and functional movement also frequently work numerous muscle groups at once, resulting in more through a workout. I'll explain to you guys about the exercise that I choose. As you can see in the video, I choose walking. The muscle involved in walking consists of latissimus maximus, the quadriceps, hamstring, tibialis anterior, rectus abdominis, transverse abdominis, and gastrocnemius and soleus. The muscle involved in walking has their own classification, consists of prime mover, synergist, and antagonist. The first one is agonist. The principal muscle that produce a certain movement are known as prime mover. At various points during the gait cycle during walking, several muscles function as prime movers. Several instances include first, during the push-off pace, the gluteus maximus act as a prime mover, stretching the hip joint and launching the leg rearward. Second, quadriceps. During the stance pace, this muscle group works as a prime mover, stretching the knee joint to permit leg straightening. Third, gastrocnemius and soleus. During the push-off pace, these calf muscles act as the primary movers, plantarflexing the ankle joint and supplying forward propulsions. And last one is tibialis anterior. During the swing pace, it functions as a prime movers, dorsiflexing the ankle joint to lift the foot off the ground. The second classification of muscle is antagonist. The muscle known as antagonist work to contract the movement of the prime mover. They provide stability and manage the movement speed while also regulating and controlling movement. During walking, some muscle compete with the main mover. For instance, first, hamstring, acting as the quadriceps adversaries. The hamstring regulate the knees flexion throughout the swing pass, enabling regulated the leg movement. The second one is gastrocnemius and soleus. They oppose the tibialis anterior and aid in regulating the foot's descent during the swing pass. The last classification of muscle is synergist. Synergist muscles support and perfect the movement by collaborating with the primary movers. They add to the overall coordination of the motion, stabilize joints, and offer additional supports. Depending on the particular movement of walking, the synergist muscle may change. Several instances, such as deep core muscle, such as the transverse abdominis. These muscles work together to maintain the pelvis and spine during the whole gait cycle.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nurul Husna binti Muhammad Nasir. I will introduce my exercise, that is stairs climbing. It has 6 muscles involved in stairs climbing: hamstrings, quadriceps femoris, gluteus medius or maximus, tibialis anterior, hip flexor, scapular stabilizer. Classifications of muscle in prime mover is, in order to produce the necessary force and movement, numerous muscle group acts as prime mover. The quadriceps femoris, hamstrings, gluteal muscle, tibialis anterior, and hip flexor are the primary mover in this exercise. During stairs climbing, several muscle groups cooperate, with some being largely in charge of producing force while others stabilizing the body or regulate movement. Then, antagonists, we can examine muscle that carry out the opposite actions of the primary mover indicated earlier as antagonists in the stairs climbing. The antagonist muscle control movement and add stability by working against the prime movers. Hamstrings, for instance, are the quadriceps adversary. The hamstring functions as an antagonist by flexing the knee joint, allowing control, bending and lowering of the leg, while the quadriceps stretch the knee during stairs climbing. Then, synergists are the muscles that support the prime mover during a certain movement. They contribute to the overall coordination and efficiency of the movement and aid in stabilizing the flexor joint. The trapezius rhomboid and serratus anterior muscle that surround the shoulder's blade cooperate to stabilize the shoulder's girdle when we ascend stairs. That's all from me. Thank you.
Hi, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Ainur Hafiza binti Azhar. I want to introduce my exercise is running. There are 7 muscles involved in running: quadriceps, hamstring, calves, gluteus, hip flexor, core muscles, and upper body muscles. Classification of muscle in prime mover is the main flexing muscle that causes the movement. They are typically and the larger muscles in our body and many times cross to joints. An example, this is the gastrocnemius muscle in the calves. Next, antagonist. These are opposing muscle to the antagonist. They work against two agonists to declarate body segments and stabilize joints. An example, if the quads are considered an agonist for sprinting, then the hamstring can be considered antagonist. Then, synergist muscle are to switch it in a movement, but they are not meant to be the main action causing muscle for the desired movement. The hamstring are designed to assist with hip extension, but the primary mover for hip extension are the gluteus. Thank you.
Okay, so now I would like to share an exercise called elbow to knee twist. The muscles that involve are biceps brachii, triceps brachii, quadriceps femoris, hamstring, and obliques. So for the classification of muscle, first is prime mover. The body parts that involve are elbow. The biceps brachii muscle is the prime mover for elbow flexion. It is located in the upper arm and has two heads, short head and long head. The long head processes both the shoulder and elbow joints and is particularly active in flexing the elbow. This muscle works in conjunction with the prime movers to facilitate the twisting motion from the elbows to the knees. Second is antagonist. The body parts that involve are knee. The hamstring acts as antagonist to the quadriceps during knee extension. This muscle provides opposing forces to control and stabilize joint movements during the elbow to knee motion. Third is synergist. The external obliques and internal obliques located on the side of the abdomen play a significant role in twisting. They contract to rotate the torso and assist in twisting from the elbows to the knees. These muscles provide opposing forces to control and stabilize joint movements during the elbow to knee motion. It is important to note that other muscles may also act as synergists or stabilizers during these movements.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Nur Hazimah Afia binti Hisham. Okay, now I want to list the muscle involved in V-up. 1. Rectus abdominis. 2. External oblique. 3. Internal oblique. 4. Hip flexor. 5. Transverse. Okay, next, the classification of muscle prime mover. Prime mover muscle in V-up is the primary muscle responsible for initiating and driving the movement. In this exercise, the rectus abdominis is the prime mover. It contracts forcefully to flex the spine and bring the upper body and leg toward each other. 2. Antagonist. The antagonist muscle opposes the action of prime mover. In V-up, the main antagonist is the erector spine, which run along the spine. Each were to resist the flexion of the spine and help maintain stability during the movement. 3. Synergist. Synergist muscle are the one that assist the prime mover in performing of desired movement. In V-up, several muscles act as energies to support and change the action of the prime mover. So there is external and internal oblique. This muscle located on the side of the abdomen, aid in rotating and flexing the trunk during V-up. Next, hip flexor. The hip flexor muscle, including the iliacs and rectus femoris, are engaged during lifting phase of V-up. They flex the hip joints to bring the legs toward the upper body. Last, transverse abdominis. This deep muscle in the abdomen acts as a stabilizer during V-up. It helps maintain core stability and support the spine throughout the movement.
That is all from us. Thank you.